All right, all right, all right. I think we're live. I think we're direct. Greetings. This is Ras Angola the Far Eye.
And I'm Jenna, and welcome to
People Talking Kali. Yes, and if this is your first time tuning into the show, People Talking Kali is a non-political platform designed for all camps of PTK, regardless of your lineage, instructor, and legacy. We're here to share in our united passion for this beautiful combat system. And if you're not in the PTK community, but you want to learn a little bit more about what we do, this is a great place to tune in because we have featured guests every week and you, the viewer, are very much part of the show. This Saturday, we have tuning in a very special guest, a person whom we're meeting for the first time because of the show. And it took a lot of effort. This man is very humble. Fabrice Morain of the Dumagit tribe in France, very humble man. I had requested him a number of times to be on the show, primarily because I could see his passion and interest for PTK Kali is growing so strong. And so we were able to get him here today. There's a 6-hour difference. And so he's here tuning in at 2 a.m. from his location in France. We want to welcome him to the show. Welcome, Fabrice, to People Talking Kali.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you in live. We never met in real life, so technology can make good things. Sometimes it's a good one.
Exactly. You know, we see each other sometimes on Facebook and social media, and you could kind of get a sense, you know, through still pictures. But it's great to just talk and finally get to know each other.
Yeah, nice for me. Nice to meet you.
So how you doing? We like to start with the status check, Fabrice. Where are you at in the world? What's going on? How are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm currently living in the south of France, on the French Riviera, very well-known place for tourism and sun and beach and good weather, movie festivals and stuff like that. And we are like a lot of people in the world recovering for the pandemic, COVID-19. And going back to the new normal, the thing that cannot exist in a real language, but coming back to the new normal. We are coming back to the new normal.
Yeah.
We cannot practice yet with a partner because the martial arts are still like banned from it, and they are like allowing practice, but you have to stay like 2 meters away from partners and stuff like that. So only people who can do like kata and stuff are very happy. For us, it's like kind of too much expensive, you know, to rent the gym and stay at 2 meters doing things that we can do with Zoom and in our own area without spending money and stuff like that. So
right.
We prefer to spend money for our seminar with Tuhon.
Yes, exactly.
Better.
You know, so at least you've been taking advantage of the Zoom option, which a lot of people have been doing, training via remote technology.
Yeah. I think it's a good opportunity for absorbing things and having access to knowledge. Like Tuhon is very busy. The teachers are all kind of icons of PTK, are teaching around the world and traveling. They are not very available, like they are available this day with the Zoom because they have more time. They don't travel, have no flight, and like having Tuhon every weekend, it's not something that we cannot have like in the usual diary and schedule of Tuhon. So we take it, and generosity from his makes that we can have all these things available and take the advantage of the situation. It's the martial arts thing. If you don't take advantage of situation, it's not martial arts.
That's right. That's right.
It's not fighting system either.
You know, we've been managed to be exposed to Tuhon Rommel, of course, and a lot of Tuhons in this pandemic. That's one of the beautiful things. There's more exposure and training going on probably now than ever.
Yeah.
So glad to hear you were able to make the best of it.
We have to take it most as we can.
Nice.
Most knowledge, most practice. Practice whatever you can with the situation and the tools that are available. So technology. Just imagine that we are in a pandemic like 30 years ago. You will repeat what you've seen in the class for all the day. You cannot learn new things. We are lucky, you know. In a way, we are lucky to have the pandemic in those days. Is a chance. I see it as a chance. We were talking with Frank, my little brother, about when we were young and when you wanted to learn, you have to go to the library to take things and learn find books on subjects and martial arts and fighting and anatomy and stuff. Now you stay at home, pandemic, no pandemic, don't care. I can search, I can learn. It's also a golden age for learning. People are, in my view, are less excused nowadays not to learn things that they want to learn.
That's right.
For it was harder. So
very good point, brother.
Yeah,
definitely.
Taking advantage of it is the way of martial arts. You have to train. We have to continue to grow and to learn and evolve.
Yes, sir.
Whatever we can do, we have to do it.
Right.
Protect the people, help the people around us, and push them to grow.
Absolutely.
And more for PTK teacher or other fighting system teacher also. If you say to your student, oh, there's a little thing happening in the world, so let's sleep for 6 months. What is it? And moreover, when you talk to doctors and they say, oh, the best thing to stay immune from this COVID is to have a strong immune system. And what is the best thing for a strong immune system? Good food, good health habits, moving, exercising. That's what gives your immune system. So if you stop when the things are going wrong,
that's right.
Will you stop to train and yourself in the fighting system if there was a war? No, you will train more. It's the same thing.
That's right.
For me, it's the same thing.
That's right.
Let's train. Let's take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of training, how did you begin your journey into training and maintaining your training?
In PTK or the whole thing?
You know what? It's good to start from the beginning, if you don't mind, because that informs how your perspective of PTK.
Of PTK. Okay, so I started with judo when I was 5, 6, 7, but it was like a kindergarten thing, you know. It's like when your parents are working and you are finishing school too soon, so you are going to do something to push you to judo. In France, judo was kind of the nanny thing, you know. You don't have a nanny, we bring the kids to the judo. And I was like, yeah, I was enjoying the thing, but it was like that. And when I was 15, I had a friend who was practitioner of Chinese Vietnamese martial arts. And once he came to my home and say, "Oh, Fabrice, I'm going to say hello to my teacher and say, do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "Yes, I have nothing to do. Gonna have company, and I will walk with you to that." Okay. And when I see the first thing, I was like, "Oh, these people are crazy. They are pulling themselves for stretching, punching, kicking." I was, wow, well, these guys are crazy guys. And on the next morning after the things, I was only thinking one thing: I have to go there. I don't know why, but I was like kind of scared and think that these people were crazy. But on the next morning, the only thought that I had in my mind was go and go there. And I've been there, went there, and it was the beginning of the journey. I worked in that system for 4 years after I met what became my master for 40 years in Chinese art. And trained with him, trained things on the side when he was moving around and having his own professional schedule. And I went in American Kenpo, trained in US, in Philadelphia, close to Philadelphia. I was in King of Prussia.
Wow! Oh yeah, right down the street.
Many times, yeah, many times. I was going there for 1 month every year and go to train to Master Nicker. But I give a salute here because he's a great man and was a big piece in my martial path. Very good teacher, friend of one of the best buddy of Joe Lewis. Also a student of Dr. Mongji of Bando, and good things. Gave me opportunities to meet a lot of big icons of American Kenpo, of Parker Kenpo in US. And I was trying to catch up things everywhere. Started the Filipino martial arts in 1991 in the Santo Blend by the guy that was one of the two the representative of Gorodan in France at that time. And I always loved the Filipino martial art, but I was more sticking to my Chinese art because it was it's a very big school, like we kind of shortly talked last time. Very big curriculum for you can stay there for all your life, kind of PTK but in Chinese way. And my master took his retirement because he has to take care of his family. The family was requesting for him because he never took care of the family for all his life. And after a few years of retirement, the kids come to him and say, "Yeah, Dad, you are not taking care of the grandson and granddaughters, and you were not there for us, and you are not there for them either. So maybe it will be time someday that you take care of the family too." There's not only martial arts in life, and he was like pulled. So he went and say, "Okay, guys, it's not that I want to catch you. I don't think that I have to take care of the kids in the family." So we let him have his life because we had him for 30 years, and I was like, okay, now we are at a point where you have to decide if you go on working on the stuff you have and develop it, because a lot of things to work still, and or going and continue to explore the fighting system, the fighting arts, and other ways of moving, other concept, or same kind of concept, same kind of thing, but expressed differently. And one of my ex-brother in the Chinese school, who was in Paris, was looking for something too, and he said, "Oh, Fabrice, what can I do?" And I said to him, "Oh, you never experienced Filipino martial arts, you never know Kali. Maybe it can be good if you can go with them and work on the knives and stuff. It can be good for you because it's a kind of a weakness. Maybe you can do that." And he said, "Yeah, but it's very difficult to find Filipino martial arts in my area and stuff." And after a few months, he said, "Oh, Fabrice, I found a guy. His name is Michael Dolu and stuff. He's in PTK. What do you think?" I don't know. I never heard about him, but I'm gonna have a look. And I said, "Oh, look at him." And said, "Oh, he seems to be a guy who is in PTK for a while." And I said, "Yeah, so go for it." And he said, "What do you think about PTK?" Oh, and I say, "Wow, PTK is a very good school, very traditional and old-fashioned and stuff." And I was remembering all the tape I was looking about GT, spanking Tuhon and stuff like that, and the Kali means to scrape and all the first videos.
Yep.
And I said, "Yes, if you have that in front of your neighborhood, go to it. You are maybe one of the best Filipino system available. Go to it." And he's the one who bring me to meet Tuhon in Paris a little bit more than 2 years ago, 2 years and a half. Wow. I said, "Oh, Fabrice, there's a seminar with Tuhon in Paris. Do you want to attend?" I said, Yeah. The Tuhon man, I want to meet the guy. I want to meet him. And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna ask to Mike if you can come." I go there, met Tuhon, and beginning of a thing. But like 2 years before, I already contacted some other PTK teacher in France and asked them if they wanted to build things, and they were like not interested, not have the schedule to do it. So I said, "Okay, let's meet Tuhon. Let's meet Tuhon Rommel." And I was there. He was very friendly, very open, very caring. I love the way he was handling the school, the teaching, and the way he was taking care of people and explaining things very detailed. It's something that we are used in ex-Chinese school. And I was like, "Oh, this thing is like something that we are used and we like. Maybe it can be good to be more closer to that." So I contacted Rommel and said, "Yeah, Tuhon, is there a way that we can make something together in France?" And I'm in south of France, but nobody want to do something here. And how can I learn more about the system? Say, "Oh, Fabrice, come and train." I said, "Yes, when and where?" He said, "Oh, I will be in the camp in Croatia. Come." So I went at the camp. He was not there because he had at that time a problem with his passport. But there was now I got on Aaron call, And I spent the weeks stick to our own and learn a lot of things. And I was like, yeah, PTK is good system, very structured and stuff. I have already met some other wrong people in other seminars, but I was not interested in the way of presenting it. And it's like choosing teacher is not a kind of it's something you take like a personal. It's like your mate, your wife, you don't take everybody like that. You choose people who are on your according to your feelings.
Yes.
So that's how I went to Tuhon. After I go to the mastery camp, when I went to the mastery camp, I say, okay, 10 hours a day for a week, explaining all day, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay, folks, if you're just tuning in, we are here with Fabrice Morain of the Dumagit tribe, representing the World Federation. It's 2 a.m. in France. Fabrice, we got some viewers already on the show. I just want to give them a second. We got Rob, Texas Rob. He's coming out of Maryland. What's going on, good brother? We have Kali Doug Marsh. He's a regular, a great support on the show and a former guest.
Yeah, I see him.
We have Be Remarkable. Be Remarkable is thanking us for doing the show. You're welcome, Be Remarkable. I know we know you. If you could just remind us who you are. I love that name.
Be Remarkable. It's Eda from Thailand.
Hey, let's Hedda. Hedda. Okay, you know this is my Pangamut right here. Okay, those that know. All right, but Hedda, good to see you, my love. Best to you and the family, sister, and the children, of course. And yeah, so they're tuning in, Fabrice. Now, you recommended your friend to go check out PTK, and then you ended up joining PTK.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. And very much so, I can say about Tuhon Rommel is that when he assesses your character, he's very open in supporting people on their journey.
Yeah, very generous. Very generous.
And so I could see you, you know, and folks who just heard Fabrice tell his story, he breezed by this. He traveled to Croatia to meet Tuhon. Tuhon wasn't there, but fortunately, Mandala Aaron Cole was there, and you know, Aaron Cole is obviously a great instructor, and he was able to feed you enough to continue. And then you traveled to the mastery camp where you were training 10 hours a day, and you did that twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. I think is the thing that I will not miss in the year.
Yes.
The mastery camp is like for all people who can attend it. I have been with Tuhon in seminar before, just before going to mastery camp, and I've been to camps. I've made like Russian camps, 2 times Russian camps, convention, European convention, went seminar Tuhon in Italy several times around and mastery camp is a different thing.
Yeah.
Different thing. 10 hours a day is challenging for the will, for the concentration, for managing the environment too. There's the temperature, there's the jet lag. The first mastery camp, I didn't sleep like for 4 days. Didn't sleep at all.
Wow.
So you have to train 10 hours a day, but you have to do it without sleeping at all. Zero sleeping. It was crazy. Tuhon was saying to me, "Oh, Fabrice, go slow. You didn't sleep." I said, "Yeah, I will do what I can." It was like, okay, you are like in a machine, and you don't realize anymore if you sleep or not. You are just like bashing. Yeah, mastery camp is a thing that every PTK passionate people or enthusiasts should be. Yeah.
So Fabrice, how did Dumagit come about, and what does Dumagit mean?
Oh, Dumagit is a name that was chosen by Tuhon. Because at first we were having just a group and we were training. A lot of my students are the ex-students I had in the Chinese art. Only two stay on the side because they wanted to train on their own about our Chinese school. They didn't want to change. I said, okay, no, everybody is free to manage his martial life how he wanted. And I keep this group, and even my little brother in Paris that I was taking care from the Chinese school. And they gathered and say, okay, we work remote in Paris and train together. And Tuhon said, "Oh, Fabrice, now you have to have a name for your group, and we're gonna call it Dumagit." And I said, "Okay, but Tuhon, what is Dumagit? Because I am not illegal, you know." And he said, "Dumagit, this means like to snatch. It's like I said to snatch, like what? He said like an eagle is on the sky and sees prey, and boom, catch it, and no prey anymore." And I said, "Oh, it's nice, like it, like it, like it." That's the term of Dumagit.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's I've been wondering this whole time, and that's what I mean. And Tuhon, he gives very traditional names, Longo names to the group that he directly manages. You know, our you see Live Blade is what we have registered, but the actual name of our group, which is the lion back here, is Pagsibol Dabaraba. That was the name. Yeah, Dabaraba.
What is Pagsibol?
Okay, so Pagsibol is so it's together. So Dabaraba is a spark that leads to a great fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
well.
Yeah, and yeah, well, that goes deep. That resonates deep with me personally, especially being a Rasta man. Fire is a very important symbol for us.
Yeah. I know.
In terms of it's a symbol of purification.
Purification, yeah.
Yeah. And so that was interesting that Tuhon noted that. And Pagsibol, if I got the translation correctly, it's a stand of courage, of bravery.
Okay.
You know, of the way Tuhon described it is, you know, initially when invaders might come to the land and they are afraid, those first few who stand strong, you know, they inspire the Pagsibol to rise to be courageous.
Okay. Nice.
So that spark of fire that leads to to courage. We're very honored by that name.
There is always a deep meaning when one is choosing the name, and there's always something that is taken from the personality and stuff like that. And
yeah, it's very interesting. I want to shout out another guest that just jumped on, Rachel Pabalinas Masses. She's a student of ours. She also helps to promote the events. And when we were trying to promote the event, Fabrice, one of the things that we noticed was it's very difficult to actually find a lot of footage or video and pictures of you. You seem to be very, very private. And when I asked you about it offline, you know, it was, I wanted to know if you could just share, why is that?
I am not a character of self-promoting or like marketing myself. And in general, when I put something online, I never do it for myself. So like when Rachel contact me and say, "Oh, Fabrice, we need picture and we need video," I said, I have a trouble. And because I have kindly no picture of myself. I already did the picture that there is on the PTKWF profile and stuff, just for reach, because it was made like the day before, and I don't like it too much. It's like a character. And the Chinese school I was in before, it was a kind of hidden thing. And my master used to say that empty barrels, you know, the barrels for petrol and gas and stuff like that, empty ones are the ones who make the more noise. So I said, okay, maybe better to stay quiet and feel and be feel than talking too much and being empty and making a lot of noise. So I always handle the thing like this. So, and after the video in the martial arts, I think something that is on the way to be lost because of the professionalization and marketing of stuff. People are showing more and more and more and selling more and more stuff that they are doing and knowing. But in the past, and I think that I already listened to GT, to the grandson, and even his grandfather said to him, "I teach you to protect the family, not to teach," because he wanted the thing to be to be hidden like effective. If you share it with everybody and you show everything you are doing, you are weakening yourself, you are weakening your student, because if you put it on public, everybody can access. So if everybody can access, if, for example, in my view, I show Sabayan online, or I show killing techniques and stuff, yeah, everybody online can take it on YouTube too. But if I learn that to the student, they can say, yeah, you are showing us, but now everybody can do it, you give it on YouTube. So what is it useful? You know what I mean? It's like an army was secret and very effective weapon. And he's making a YouTube video to showing the secret of the weapon. What is the use of the weapon? You don't have efficiency anymore. It's not effective.
Yeah.
So in a real fighting system, the more you keep it hidden and secret, the more it's kept effective. The more you are opening it to the people, the more you are weakening it, because everybody can access. It's a kind of logic for me. It's the logic that I learned before. So as I used to say, we don't show. If people want to talk about martial arts, you make them show them their things, because it's like spying. It's fighting. If people are talking about war, you want to see their weapons, you want to see their strategy, but you don't give yours. You make them, what my master used to say, you make them show their branches, so you can know what trees is in front of you, but you don't show yourself.
Right.
So
I like that.
That's why I don't show.
That's beautiful.
And also, I am not in PTK for 20 years. What can I show? There's Tuhon there. There's Tuhon Rommel, there's Tuhon Leslie, there's Tuhon Nonoy, there's Tuhon Erwin. There's a lot of Tuhon. If there's people who have to show themselves, it's these people. It's not me. It's not people like people who have like kind of less experience than they think, and boosting too much. They are kind of giving bad image of PTK too sometimes, because some people. That's what some people outside the PTK community are thinking sometimes about it. It's like sometimes PTK people are too much braggant. That's what the people over FMA are telling sometimes outside. So okay, let's make it more humble and quiet and cool, and that's my philosophy on it. So I prefer to say, okay, don't show to the dangerous thing to the people, and so nobody will take it, and you protect life.
That's right. You know, there were a lot of decisions that Jen and I factored in, I guess, that made us go more public, you know, because we really resonate very much with that sentiment. At the same time, we're leaders in our community. Like if you ever came to like we walk down the street, we're talking with our neighbors, and so we very much believe in, if there's a need for leadership, someone has to fill the role, you know. And so part of us being a little bit more public and active is just because we wanted to be more proactive within the PTK community, you know. And one of the things we made sure, though, just to get at what you're saying, we don't make any videos that teach a technique. If you check our videos on our YouTube, there's usually music. It's just, you know, there's mistakes made. It's everything is from training. It's everything from the training, because of exactly what you're saying. We have to make sure that we're not absolutely showing some of the core fundamentals. On a side note, I've also heard the Grand Tuhon say, let them film. They're not going to know what to do with it anyway. You know,
sure,
they can't even, they don't understand the nuances and the subtleties and the shifts of position and the pressure. And, you know, people think that they're filming and they're getting something, and they're just going to be confused. So it's interesting.
It's not a criticize on the whole thing. It's just kind of opinion. And like I said, everyone has an opinion, like everyone has some part of his body, but it's just an expression of the way I feel it. And
actually, I love it.
I can understand that people that want to live and be professionally need to push it. But on the same thing, I think that, okay, look, for example, what is the most famous phone in the market? It's Apple. But when Apple is commercializing a phone, do they show everything of the phone? No. they're just appealing the people about the positive things, image, and it's the way of packaging. They're not showing, sometimes you cannot even show, they don't even show the phone turn on. The phone is black, is off, and people are queuing for 2 days, 3 days to have enough phone. They see only off. But because they know the reputation and they are going to it because they know that the product is good. So if the more positive, good people varies in a place, the more people are crowding to it. It's like the phone. You want the best phone, you go, oh, you are queuing. If you are doing good things and people are talking good about you, oh, it's okay. People will come. But if you show bad things, people who are bad, they will come to have the bad. So
beautiful.
And look at the Tuhons. How many Tuhons are marketing themselves really? It's a question. Not that much.
That's right.
If you make a search, for example, even Tuhon Rommel, how many video is doing himself really? Not that much. People are making video of Tuhon and putting him online to promote their organization, their school and stuff. Yeah. Tuhon Leslie, how many videos of Tuhon Leslie? How many videos of Tuhon Erwin? Very few. Very few. And according to my way of thinking, if I had to go to some people, I will go to for what I call the full barrel. You know, they don't make noise because they have knowledge. They don't need to show too much. It's okay. And it's the people that are the most attracting for me. It's my own personality. I don't blame anyone because everyone, it's life. How many paths in life? How many ways? Who knows who is right in life? We don't know. Really, we don't know who is right. We have only intuition, but with the things that we feel inside our heart and spirit, and say, well, we are more attracting by that way. Or some people that just need to go to in a way and they are happy in it, and that's okay. Since it's good for everybody and they don't damage the society and the people, yeah, it's okay. Go. Everybody is choosing a different wife. Some people are single, some people have one wife, some people are three wives, some people have jobs, some people have not, some people want to make money, some people don't care, some people want big car. Yeah, life is trying a new path everywhere. So at the end, we will know what is the best choice, but life is trying. We are just try of life, that's all. Beautiful. So I'm trying life my way, and okay, let's go. So it's a path.
Right. Absolutely. And speaking of your way,
beautiful.
So I just have to bring up a point that I've noticed, and that I don't think we've had one guest that has not trained another martial art or had invested time learning something else before they begun to train PTK. And it is worth, not now, but it's worth kind of exploring that, because we both also have experience in other martial systems before training and committing ourselves to PTK. And I think it's really interesting. And from my perspective, I see it as like, PTK is hard. It's not easy. It's a harder system to learn. There's a lot of, you have to be kind of almost academically, inclined to pick up PTK, or it's just going to take a long time. And it's almost like a special ops training with having no military training, like trying to do special ops training with like not even doing basic training. That's how it would be for someone who maybe has not had any martial science training. But I did want to pick your brain and ask you how much of the discipline and much of the respect and all of the elements that you learn from doing a traditional empty hand Chinese martial arts, how much of that informs your practice as you're training PTK?
In terms of what? In difference, like, in
how you approach it, like how you approach the way that you practice on your own, the way you approach teaching. How does having a background and kind of knowing what to do, how does that inform how you practice now?
I think I am taking my my PTK kind of same way I have with my Chinese art. First, because the approach of Tuhon is a kind of the same that my master had in the past. Very structured, very progressive, very detailed. It was crazy, and it's a crazy school, so a crazy thing. And so I have learned to catch details, because it was always like, no, like that, not like that. You made a mistake. You have to correct that, correct back, Fabrice, too bad, not like that. And sometimes there was also the thought processing. Okay, I give you a question. Now train. And what can you do with that? Okay, come back. Show me what you add from what you learn. And I was doing things, and sometimes I said, yes, yeah, you're on good path. Go on, continue. And I would check later. And sometimes he was going to me, hey, Fabrice, what are you doing? If I train like you, I suicide. Huh? I was like, oh, what? He said, you do only that with that thing? And I was like, yes, that's what you told me. Yes, but you don't project farther away about it. And I was like, oh. And he was showing things, and I was like, wow, so many things. And so it's, for me, it's a kind of the same process. Different material with a lot of common points. And I will be very curious to have. I already talked to Tuhon Leslie, and Tuhon Leslie talked to me about it a little bit, and about the origin of the school, really, of the PTK, the origin, not the grandfather of GT, but before in the family, because there's so much similarity with the Chinese system that I learned, even in the names and stuff. But I was like, even with Frank, he's my brother in Chinese school, we are talking together a lot about things, and we are always comparing, like, oh, you see, these things look like about ours, and the same things, and same concepts and stuff. And like, for example, we were talking, we were training on the digging on the cab with Tuhon this afternoon, and the movement of cab like that, and circles to find us how to you are digging the dirt. In our school, it's called what's in my ex school. It's called Waxahaquen. Waxahaquen means how to search in the sand. And it's the same when you are searching in the sand, and the application is the same. And I was saying to say, you see, it's the same kind of family of moves with the same name. Even the breaks, it's called the horns of buffalo and stuff. And I was searching a little bit and had information. But for example, the first carabao, the first buffalo that was brought to Philippines was brought by Chinese. It was a gift from Chinese to Philippines. So I was like, strange. We have a special system on the buffalo thing, and they have the same thing, but the carabao they didn't have in the Philippines first. It came from China. And I was like, there's so many, like the Kaya Kulob and stuff. In our school, we call that Amyung Fapyung. It means the palm in the yin and yang position. But the yin and the yang are representing the earth and the heaven also. It's the same thing. And we are moving the same way. We are attacking the same way. We are catching the same thing. And I was like, wow. Okay. And honestly, the more I go deeper in the PTK, and the more it looks like my our Chinese school, our ex-Chinese school. So I would be very curious to have like a conversation. I know, but maybe we'll never have, or don't know, who knows, with GT and Erie, talk about the origin and what he heard from the grandfathers, coming from the grandfathers, and see where it comes from. I like to dig. I like to cop in the system. I like to dig and have more knowledge on the things.
That's very, very important to do. You know, I know that it's documented of there's the grandfather, and then there's a number of generations. And the reason it's on my head, but I don't want to mispronounce or say anyone's name wrong, because there was a point in time, Fabrice, I had like memorized the lineage as far back as you could find it on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah, but so that would be an interesting conversation, but it would also probably be a sensitive one. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, because you know, there's a lot of pride in the origin of the Majapahi, you know, the Mafalindo area, and then there's possible Chinese influences. And so, you know, it's great to do. Have you shared that with Tuhon, these thoughts?
Tuhon was brushing the question. The more information I had about that was with Tuhon Leslie, that was telling me that the grandfather were missionary and they were traveling kind of everywhere. And so, because Tuhon Leslie was in Silat too, so he's also he liked the culture, digging in the culture and stuff. And for me, when you know deeper about the how, the when, the by who, the with who the system was meant, the more you are strengthening your roots.
That's right.
You know, it's like, oh, you know more the roots, but the stronger the roots, the stronger the tree too. Because Tuhon used to say, oh, someday people will ask question, and you have to have the answer. Where comes PTK? It comes from the grandfather. Yes, okay, but the grandfather, they did from what? From, you know, it's like people. There's always some. When you give an answer, there's always someone who go to the question on top of the answer, and it's like a process. Okay, it comes from GT, and GT has it from his grandfather, and the grandfather has it from the family. Okay, but what was the family? Who was the family? Because nothing comes from heaven and built like that. Even if you are a genius and you are inventing something, you have an influence, at least in something. You have crossing, you have sharing, you have studying, and you have studies. And okay, it's not, maybe it's not very important in the way of practicing, but it's just to know how deep you want to know what you are learning. You want just to know the technique? Are you there just to learn the technique? You just want to know how to defend yourself, how to eliminate the threat, or are you also there to culture yourself, to be more educated, to be more thinking, more deep, go deeper in the knowledge, not only banging a stick at 200 kilometers. There's so many people who can do that. You take someone in the street, you give him $10, and you say to him, okay, take that stick and swing it like crazy, and I give you 10 bucks. The guy is going to do it. But does everybody know about FMA? No, not mandatory. It's not everyone. Okay, and the history of FMA and the history of that school and that school and that school. For me, fighting system is like you say we are doing in fighting system, but if you fight, you learn your own roots and you learn the roots of others. You want to know what are the weapons and the origin and what they are doing, because likely you will not encounter your own school brother, your own martial brother, your own fighting brothers. It's not, they will not be your opponent. You will fight over school. You will fight over people, over systems. So you have to learn them also, not only yours, and learn how they are coming from, what they are doing, what is the specialty, who are the best teacher. Look at them, say, okay, the system is that. You have, like I said, you have to recognize what tree you have in front of you. You should say, okay, oh, I'm just learning PTK because I am very, it's a very impressive system, and I like the way it's presented and stuff, and I like it. Yeah, okay, you know, it's nice, you know your stuff, but do you know others? Like Sun Tzu says in The Art of War, if you don't know your opponent and you don't know yourself, meaning you don't know your roots, you don't know what you are sure to lose.
Yes.
If you want to increase your chance of winning, you have to know yourself and the opponent.
Yeah.
But how many kind of people you can have now? So martial study, it's okay. For me, it's a way of life. If you want to be in fighting system, you have to dedicate.
I love this, brother. You know, and getting the origin.
Yeah,
I'm big into history and culture, knowing the origin of things. You were saying something that actually jogged my mind. We trace it back to the Chinese, then we learn where did the Chinese get it from.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? And then it keeps going, leads back to original man, I guess. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Never-ending process.
It's a never-ending process. Yes, sir.
I had one student in the past. He was saying, "Oh, Fabrice, before I wanted to learn martial art, I was thinking like, okay, I can get the things and after it will be okay and stuff. And he said, and the more I went to it, and the more we are training and the more you are giving us the stuff, and the more I see it like the horizon. I said, horizon. He said, yes, the things that you see think it's the limit, but the more you get closer, the more it get distant. And I said, yes, you got it. Martial art and fighting systems are like that. Because if you want to, there's no ending.
Yeah.
No ending to it.
Love it.
And
So, no, go.
And I think one thing that I think some people say, oh, you are exaggerating a bit, but I think for me that martial art are the and fighting systems are the disciplines that can bring the most education and most knowledge to people. Even if you compare to dance, if you compare to anything, you are training alone, you are training with partner, you are training with contact, you are training with tools, you are training with upper body, lower body, long range, short range, the distance, up ground stuff, and even with people who are antagonistic. And in what discipline will you find an opponent that want to knock you out, what want to destroy you? Personally, it is only in fighting systems. So sometimes, yes, dance can bring you things, athletic things, mobility, supple. You can be supple, you can be very artistic, you can be jumping high, yeah, but you will never dance with someone who want to kick your leg, who want to knock you out of the game. People want to coordinate with you, that's okay. Even if you do contest, you do your thing, and after you do your thing, people come do their things, and that's all. But martial arts, they bring you to that, to your body, to your best biomechanics stuff that you can find in any sport field. It can lead you to philosophy, to medicine, to anatomy, to history, to sociology, to geography. When you enter fighting system, you are entering the anthropology of humanity. So it's like,
I love it. Yep. Fabrice, I relate to this. This is warrior culture. This is the power of the warrior culture. And not too many people are on this frequency. So, I appreciate this conversation. What are you working on now? We talk about the past. Are there any specific things that, I know we're training every Sunday, but you on your own, when you have time, are there any specific subsystems that you find yourself working with?
I work on everything.
Yeah.
I am working on everything. First, because Tuhon is feeding us a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I can know about Tuhon's way of managing things. For example, we were training, and one of the guys we are guesting, because on the Saturday morning we are guesting other European instructor, representative of Tuhon too, like Andreas of Germany, Van from Greece, Giorgio from Italy, Manuel from Spain, Madeleine from Romania. At the beginning, it was just my group, and after I asked Tuhon, I said, okay, Tuhon, we are just us. Maybe it can be cool if we can bring the guys who are interesting and free. And so I sent the invitation to everyone and said, yeah, if you want to come and have a session with Tuhon, let's come on. And the guys were very happy. And one guy came and said, oh, Fabrice, last time we were on that and we did not finish that one. Maybe it can be good if you can ask to Tuhon if we can finish. And I said, yeah, Tuhon gave us already a lot of stuff. And like I know Tuhon, he can come back to us and say, okay, show me the thing I showed you 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And if you can perform it, I'm gonna add to it.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, don't request too much. Let Tuhon manage the progression because he's the one who knows. And let's repeat and train and make the muscle memory and make the body language using to that things and connect it to the other things you are training. And we will see. And what happened this morning, Tuhon came and say, hey, guys, I showed you that thing 1 month ago. Can you do it? I want to see it. And I was like, you see that?
Yeah.
So
That's
Tuhon know what he's doing, and he's doing his way. Everybody can criticize the way of one, the way of the other, but it's like when you are choosing your mate for living. When you chose about it, stick to it, accept it.
That's right.
If you are not happy, you made the wrong choice. It's your fault. Don't complain. So take responsibility for it and go on. So Tuhon is the one who is knowing what he's doing. Really, there are many other Tuhon. I don't criticize anyone, but it's like I choose my companion for learning PTK. I love Tuhon Leslie too. I love Mandala Rich. I love Agalon Aaron. I'm close to Agalon because of the Chinese thing, and I had fun with his group in the mastery camp and stuff. But yeah, I love what Tuhon Rommel is doing and the way he's teaching. So okay, follow, trust him, and we will see. That's okay. Let's go. And each time it's always surprise, 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 and surprise. Sometimes even, sometimes I think I said, oh, it would be nice if you can see that again, or if you can rework on that or expand a little bit. And the training after, I don't say, okay, these guys, this morning we're going 2 topics or 3 topics, and we're going back. And I said, wow. I was thinking like it would be like maybe cool to go on that because it's kind of connected. And book come and say, without talking, without asking, he comes and say, okay, guys, we're going to that. And when that you say, okay, the guys know what he is doing, he's progressing the thing and stuff. That's very nice. Right. I like his way. Yeah. No criticize for anyone. I love, like I said, I had a very, very, very nice and very joyful and very instructive time with Tuhon Leslie. I like him a lot. I have a lot of respect for him, and different approach to the thing, different way of energy to it, kind of complementary to the. And there are so many good teachers in PTK, and even I have seen people moves, and when I see them, I said, yeah, I like the way they're moving. But sometimes you don't like people. It's not you are against them. It's just the way they move and their approach to you. It's not your feeling. That's all.
That's right.
You cannot love all the women on earth. You cannot be friends with everybody on earth. Just feelings.
That's right. That's right. I want to give a shout out to another viewer, a good friend of ours, Demela, the plant-based pugilist. He's also tuning in.
Hello.
Everything is all vegan with my friend Demela. And he's all in great shape, great warrior, and he's out there showing you don't have to eat meat. So I just wanted to plug him really quick.
Oh, I am not a meat lover either.
Oh, see, okay, that's good to know. We had a comment from One Beer early on when we were talking about video and when it was hard to find you. One Beer, that's the name. That's a cute name, by the way. There's only so much to learn from a video versus live training. Application of range, timing, and the subtle point of usage, in his opinion, would take an extremely long video. And it's just going back to what we were saying, the limitations of video in the first place.
I remember one part of the sayings of Ed Parker in American Kenpo, in Kenpo Karate. It's not really a karate because it's very fluid for a karate. And Ed Parker used to say that to learn a technique, you need to have 3 points of view. Strange, because when you see, I can learn by video. Ed Parker was saying that you need to do the technique because you need to move and understand the way to move, the feelings, the kinesthetic of it, the body motion. You have to receive it because you have to understand what the damage is and what is the effect. Is it effective, not effective? You have to receive it. And third, you need to have the external point of view, because when you do the technique, you don't see yourself doing. When you receive it, you don't see yourself receive. You see people receive and giving only when you are the third view. So I think to really understand a technique, you have to receive it, because sometimes you are looking at some techniques and you say, oh, doesn't seem very effective. Oh, maybe I have a doubt on it. And when the guy is going on you and doing it, and you say, wow, from the external point of view, the guy didn't seem very heavy on his strike. It didn't seem like heavy on his way or approach. And you cannot see that in video. It doesn't exist. You don't have the feeling. And even in Kenpo, they say, to hear about is to be deceived. To watch, to see is to doubt. But to fear is to believe. You need 3 things. You need to do it. You need to be to feel it, and you have to see it from the outside.
Yeah.
look, when you are in seminar, when you are the guinea pig of Tuhon or another teacher, when you receive the technique, it's difficult to learn the technique when you receive it. It's true. When you are the one who is taking the blows and going to the ground, and when you are pinned and to make a dumog on you, and you're on the back and you are stretched like a crazy monkey, you don't know what was happening behind your back. You're just receiving it. When you are doing it to the people, you don't know what is the feeling of it. Okay, if I only do the technique on my guys and never feel it, how do I know what is really to receive it and to feel the pain of it? Don't know. Maybe the student or the guys around you are nice to you and comply to your things and just stop to make you happy.
That's right.
Because they don't want to go too far, they don't know, so they just stop before. It can happen. But even if you are doing things, sometimes when I have to film the group or look at the Zoom, and the Zoom was good for that. When I look at the things, I said, "Oh, I was moving like that. Oh, I thought it was good." Like when I met Aaron, when I was in the Croatian camp, I was coming from Santo Blend and stuff, and no criticize, it's the way of Santo Blend, but it was not very accurate in delivering and stuff. It's more like blow strike, and Guru Aaron was saying, "Fabrice, close your angles, strike 1 to 7, strike all the way through." And I was on my thing, I was doing like, "Yeah, that's okay, that's what I'm doing." But when I saw the video later, I know why you was doing that, because you think you are doing good because you don't see yourself on the external. And video is good, but it's not enough. It's only 1 point.
Wow.
For me, only opinion. But I am a visual learner, like Matteo said last time, or like other guests said also. I am a visual learner, but I know that visual is not enough. If you only see the techniques, how can you perform? You go to a seminar, you sit down and you watch. What can you do? You get out of the seminar and if something happens, what can you do with what you watch? 1%, 10% of the content of the seminar, maybe, or maybe less. And 2 days later, if you didn't move, what can you do?
Hey, I want to give a real quick shout out. We have MNG Royce from the Nomads tuning in.
Oh, hello, Royce. Hey, brother.
And we have Agalon Jade Gahe representing PTK GTS.
Oh, hello, Jade.
Our sister as well. I'm glad to see both of you here. You said something really, really interesting, Fabrice. It got me thinking. A lot of times, like you said, you don't know you're doing the move wrong. And I get, as an instructor, you'll tell a student, okay, do it this way. And no, I'm doing it. And they're not, and they just can't see themselves. And I've had to humble, you go through it. Now, when Tuhon or any other Tuhons, or even a senior instructor, or even one of my students, because sometimes your students are letting you know, wait a second, you just did it this way, but now sometimes you got to really humble and it's hard to humble to the instruction that you're not doing something, even though you think in your heart you really, really are doing it. That's one of the big, and I learn a lot about a student who can receive that. A student is like, I thought I was doing it right, and you're like, well, it says a lot to the testament. Yeah. Sometimes students when I teach, sometimes I see students like houses, like homes, and in every home there is a door. If the door is a little bit open, you can knock at the door and say, "There's somebody," you know what I mean? But if the door is closed and you want to tap and bump, the more you're gonna bump in the door, the more there will be resistance. So sometimes when the door is closed and you see that there is resistance when you teach and you say you want to correct, oh, wait, next time, maybe the door will be open. If it's not next time, maybe in 1, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, let the people grow their stuff. And because sometimes people are processing stuff that happen in their life. Some people have very difficult life in the past, what we call in French translation, heavy luggage from the past. And you have to wait that they can open, and because
we cannot enter by force everywhere.
That's
So
right.
when people cannot receive like that, or so that's what I am doing. I have sometimes some people who are like that. And I said once, I said, no, you were doing like that. No, I am sure. Okay, no problem. I said, that's okay, no problem. And I let them. And when you cut down and you don't say anything, they are like, oh, there was something. The guy is like letting down and say, okay, let it down for now. And they start processing why you let the things down and you don't argue, because they are like sometimes used to that argument.
That's right.
I did right. No, sometimes come from childhood and stuff like that. No, I did bad. No, yes, I did bad. No, you did bad. It's like a guiltiness and don't want to make mistakes and don't want to appear bad and stuff. So they are fighting that image. So they can stand like steady and stable, and they don't want. So sometimes, oh, knock at the door, so it's closed. Okay, I will come back later.
Yeah.
And some people, you can sometimes have people who don't have the thing for a way of moving, and they will never have it. That's okay. They are here, they enjoy that thing at that level and doing that way. That's okay too.
Right.
Don't force people to eat what you are eating just because you like it. If they just want to have the appetizer and if they are happy with it, yeah, it's better that they are happy with an appetizer, but suiciding themselves or going to alcohol or drugs and stuff. That's okay.
That's beautiful. You know, and also sometimes people need to see progress in order to say, you know what, look how far I've come. There's nothing more humbling. I know, like, I've seen videos of myself when I first started, and I'm just like, oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
You know, and you see how much you learned and you grew, and you know, because even though everyone has their own way that they're going to interpret Kali, there is an aesthetic of being mechanically correct. And then when you see it and feel it, you're like, oh, I was, and you can always go back and say, you know, I was in this, maybe being stubborn, but also I was at a certain place that I'm not anymore, so I can value where I've come. You know what I mean?
One of the best things for me is being a teacher in high school, because they're so, when you're correcting teenagers, they are going to resist you. And and you cannot break down the door. What's the point? And so a lot of times adults, not that you have to talk to them like children, but it's different. It's applying those different kind of strategies where we're teaching you combat, but we're also teaching how to manage stress, how to manage frustration,
emotions,
how to talk yourself through it. Exactly. So it's not just the correction, it's how to correct.
Yeah.
And it's only when I guess it's an unsafe movement do you have to be really overt and say, hey. But if not, Jenna and I believe that it's self-discovery is the most important discovery. If you can get the students to see it for themselves, it has the most impact. Yeah.
You can show the people, you can propose them, you can make proposal. But at the end also, what we have to kind of realize too is that there's a story, the story of the soup of a soup of a soup.
Share it with me.
It's a story of a master, kind of master in his stuff, and it's very well known because he's known for his soup. He's doing a soup that is extraordinary, and every student know about his soup. They know, but not everyone has tasted. And the students are talking about themselves, but the soup is renowned and stuff. We have to taste it one day. And one of the students say, okay, one night I will go to the master home when I feel like it tastes very good, and I will and knock at the door. So the guys come at the master house and smells good, and knock at the door and say, oh, master, can I visit you? I want to talk to you a little bit and talk about things. And, yeah, come. Do you have dinner? Did you have dinner? Oh, not yet. Oh, I made the soup. If you want a bowl, I can give you a bowl of soup. Oh, yes, master. Yeah, yes, I'm very happy. And the guy tastes the soup and it's very good. So he's like, so very good. Oh, so yummy. And the master says, you want a second bowl? Oh, yes, master, a second bowl. Take the bowl. And after the soup, talk a bit with the master. And later also, thank you, master. Have a good night and stuff. And on his way back, he crossed 3 other students of the master. Oh, where are you coming from? I'm coming from the master's home. Oh, what did you do? Oh, I went there to talk and I taste the soup. How is the soup? The soup is very good, very nice, and very tasty. It's a wonderful thing. So the 3 students say, okay, let's go to the master home and taste the soup. And so they go to the master home, knock at the door and say, hey, master, we come to visit you and say hello. Oh, come on, guys. Did you have dinner? Oh, not yet. So, I can give you a bowl of soup if you want. And the guy says yes. And the master goes in the kitchen and look at the pot, and only half of the recipient is filled by the soup, because 2 bowls with the student with his bowl is like reducing. So he said, oh, maybe 3 guys, 2 bowls don't have enough. So he put water in the soup and diluted it. And he gives soup to the student, and the student tastes the soup, and they're looking like, yeah, it's good, but it's not wonderful as the guy was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, like that, they are tasting the food and get out. Another group of students come, and at the end, the students are drinking water.
Water.
Because the master has no soup anymore. So each time he put water to fill the students.
Mm.
But we are only soup of the soup.
Ah, okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yes, 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 yes.
There was the origin, there's GT, there's the first lines of Tuhons, second layer of soup, first, second, and the soup is can be like more or less tasty depending on what the guy has in 2 things.
That's correct.
So that's why I said, okay, for me, my thing is try to go deeper to the original soup that is accessible to me.
Yes.
And try to have a taste of it.
That's right.
So when you teach, you have you can say, okay, I taste the second row of the soup, the second version of it, and the second way of it, and the closer to the original taste, and the better. So that's the way. That's my.
That's right, man. That's beautiful.
And that's why when you ask me, what do you train? I train everything, because PTK is a way of motion too. And everything is not, there's not a satellite part of the training with on alone and is not connected to others. And everything is connecting to others. And what you are working there, we make evolve this one and this one and this one and this one, because it's the same body language.
That's right.
So there's no need to separate the thing. After, you can work on cycle on, okay, I'm going to make a cycle on that thing and make a cycle. I do it for the student. So we don't act like, oh, I'm jumping. But training, everything is good. And the closer to the original soup. So video are good to check yourself and say, okay, do you feel like tasting like the original soup when you are moving, or?
Yeah, that's right. You know, folks, support the Grand Tuhon. Support that soup while he's still giving seminars. That's on my mind. And as well, from our perspective, Tuhon Rommel, you know, the nephew of the Grand Tuhon, is also preparing a mighty dish. So we have to train from these. We have to train from these sources, these tortals directly.
And when you look at the level of the Tuhons, especially the old ones and the ones that were there for a long time already, you can understand easily that Qwan Tuhon is a special teacher, because the level of the guy in the system when you met them is like, when I met Tuhon Leslie, I was like, oh, the guy is moving so well.
Amazing.
When you work with Tuhon Rommel, same thing. And everybody who is formed in that way, you can see that at the top of it, you have lot of skills. A lot of skills as a practitioner, because you have a material to teach, and as a teacher also. And I had the opportunity to see Qwan Tuhon move in the Zoom since Jade came in the seminar with Tuhon and stuff and was supporting the things. And I talked to her and say, oh, Jade, I found it's very nice that you are here with us, because there's so much. That's one of the things that is happening when you enter the PTK world, is so much story in it. And I said, oh, okay, it's not like the sky is becoming clearer and clearer, small, maybe a little on that part, but it's very nice. And I had the opportunity to see Qwan Tuhon moving on the Zoom. And yes, you saw that he has something, and it's a character, a personality, and you can understand that he had the ability, and how all these teacher, all these two who are with him have been his students for so long, have so much skill, because there's a lot of things in PTK. It's very...
Do they have, you guys have a lot of women training in Dumagit?
All right. So woman is a very special thing for me, because like I said, and I made a post a short time ago about it. For me, like I said offline to Jenna, for me, we are living in a world that becomes more and more crazy. I think it was maybe more crazy in the Middle Age. That's okay. But from what we knew before the new normal and before the normal, there was more peace thing. Maybe in the 70s and 80s, 60s was good. After the Second War, things were like coming down, and not everywhere in the world. War is a part of humanity. Warring is a part of the human behavior. Fighting is part of the human behavior. It's like that. Unfortunately, maybe, but it's also the way of improving. And I've always thought that the woman and the kids should train and should be educated in things. At different level for the kids, for things. But if all the kids were practicing fighting system, martial arts, or combat sport, there will be less bullying in school. If all the women were engaged in the way of protecting themselves, there will be less aggression in the street, less rapes, less abuse, less domestic violence and stuff, because at least you have first aid. You are not really need to become an expert, except if your husband is a Tuhon, should train. No, I'm joking. You need more skill if you want to detach from that kind. It's more difficult. So, but the women is very important for me. And I always try to, but women are not very engaged in violence managing. Cyndi Lauper sang it. Girls just want to have fun, but it's also fun. But if you can bring fun and skills at the same time, I think it can be good. And there's Eda. Eda is still on the line. Yeah,
we're here, brother.
Eda contacted me like I think it's 2 weeks ago, something like that. After the post that I made sometimes I make some little quotes and stuff on my Facebook. Okay. And I was saying that girls and children should be the one that should train the most. And she contacted me and said, "Oh, Fabrice, I would like to rebuild a group." And I trained Tyra when I was in Manila. Tuhon asked me to take care of Tyra, the daughter of Eda.
Yes.
And I was training Tyra on the rooftop of Tuhon. Nice. And I stayed connected to Tyra, kind of talking to her, mentoring her, and like when sometimes she had some question on life and stuff, I was talking with her. And that asked me if I will be available and okay to help them to grow it a bit, because I said yes, I had experience and I've been exposed in PTK before in camps and stuff, but I don't know really how to start and what to give. And if you have more things like Tyra gave me a lot of positive things on the way you are handling the teaching, and your pedagogy, your way of processing it is cool for Tyra. And do you want to test to make a test with us? I said yes, sure. So I have only one girl in my group. She's training hard. She's very dedicated. She made a lot of sacrifice to be in the group also in her life. So I give a salute to her and a tribute for that. She loves PTK. And the group of Eda, we started we made already two training with the Zoom. And she gathered a bunch of her friends that are interested in moving and getting fit and learning kind of self-defense, because so give that thing to the girls. And yeah, if more girls can join in Thailand area, in Bangkok area, if, like I said, some girls can gather together like 4 or 5 and they want like a Zoom training in PTK, and okay, just contact me, and if I have time, I will be happy to help the weakest one. I don't say that women are weak, huh? But in violence handling more than guys. Violence, not pain. We can endure more pain, but violence is different.
That's their strength. I took, you know, women can take more pain than we can, and we have a different kind of external strength.
Yeah.
Heda is also saying thank you for training.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure. They are really working hard, and they are very dedicated for beginners and stuff, and very focused, and we are training seriously, and we have fun also, make a little bit of conditioning, because I know girls like their body too, so I give a little bit of it, because I have been and still coach for athletes in France and stuff, so I take those knowledge and give to her and have fun with her and make up fun. That's okay. It's a very nice thing, and I'm happy to help. So it's nice.
Beautiful. That's a great mentality, brother. We need to encourage the women to train, and the culture and the group that's inviting. We have a question from Texas Rob. He wants to know your thoughts on Dikiti Tirja Siratas. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I have seen video. I have seen old video too, and I know that James Gerson is the uncle of GT. He's part of the family, and I think that he know more about Dikiti Pikiti, whatever the story is all about. Let's call it like that. Yeah. He knows more than a lot of us about it. That's the family. He is the relative to GT too, and honestly, I have nothing to say about it, because, like I said, you want to learn something, you have to be there. You have to train with the guy, taste it, and even if you are not agree, even if you don't like it, even if it doesn't fit you, it concerns only you. Nene Tortal, Jim Nene Tortal as student, and he has some loyal students also. Yeah, he has people who are following him. That's right. I don't think that people who are following someone else are only fools.
That's right.
Because there are fools everywhere, huh? Everywhere. So the way that I've seen it, I never experienced it. It's like you say, oh, what do you think about the wife of your neighbor that you heard about? I don't know. Really, I don't know. And the one thing that you have to know is what you know, what you don't know, and I don't know. So I have seen 2 videos of it. How old is Nene? Maybe older than GT, I think. He's like 85, something like that.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. If I move like him at 85, I am happy.
Brother, I love that response.
I can sign a contract now to move like him. So honestly, yes, I cannot.
I think that's a great response. We know that's Nene Tortal and his son Jerson, and so that's family right there. You know what I mean?
That's how they move. That's how they express themselves. Okay, they have. Is everybody will fall in love with GT? No. Is everybody will fall in love with Tuhon Rommel? No. Will everybody fall in love with the teaching of Tuhon Leslie or another one? Whatever he is. Jared or I don't know, Keith Asenas and stuff. Everybody, it's like food. For me, it's like food. That's one of the part that I loved in the system. And I met Gorodan several times because I went to the seminar with Gorodan several times. And he said martial arts is like food. When you go in a restaurant, everybody is going to choose different things. Even if your neighbor at the table want the same thing as you, so it's okay, but it's your own choice. I don't. If I like to eat spicy and hot, it's my choice. Doesn't mean that people who don't eat spicy and hot, they are silly and stuff. No, it's their taste. They prefer to eat ketchup. Yeah, let's go eat ketchup. Yeah, it makes you happy. That's okay. People want they prefer to work on Dikiti Tirsia Seradas instead of Pikiti Tirsia Kali. Yeah, that's okay. These people, they are not thugs in the streets. They are learning martial arts to defend themselves, help the community, defend the weak. They are doing good in the society. Whatever they are learning is better than to be to hijack people or homjack people. So what can I say? Nothing. And I never experienced it, so cannot. You never taste the meal. What can you say? I don't know.
Beautiful, brother. When you have students who are struggling and they're frustrated, any advice for students who are, especially now that they can't have the hands-on training, But you know, they're trying to do Zoom sessions with their teachers, their local teachers, or with the Tuhon, and they're just trying to hang in there. Any advice that maybe you could give?
About what? About handling the difficulties and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like I said, we need 3 points to learn the techniques. Be patient. You can only have 1, 2, because you can see, you can make, you can compare what you see with what you are doing if you are filming yourself, but you cannot feel, you cannot apply. Be patient, because what you are doing now is better than doing nothing. It's always a step on the way of increasing and evolving, making progress. So continue, don't quit, and be patient. Wait for the things are coming down, and you can go to the regular and usual ways of training, and you will find at that moment that what you do on your own, alone, make you advance. And even if it's not, oh yes, it's not as fast as regular training, because like I said, we don't have a partner, we don't receive the thing, we don't have timing things, we don't have, find things to adjust, and find tools and find exercise that can simulate things and can help you. See, for example, I have a wooden dummy at home, I have a grappling dummy, I have like a trunk of bamboo things. I made a lot of things, but okay, I have to train alone, I have no partner sometimes. Okay, how can I progress? What can I do? It's not only doing, how can I do better? Because okay, I can repeat in the empty air. Okay, we need it. Definitely we need it. We need the body mechanics, and we need the stuff. It's already not easy for everything. And sometimes you find things very easy to handle, sometimes it's not. So work on it, and find something, find a branch of tree. You want to work accuracy, you go in the wood and you strike a leaf, and you increase your accuracy just striking a leaf. Better to strike in the air, but okay, now you can increase doing a leaf. You want to have hard contact, break bamboo, buy tube stuff, and hit the things lightly, and take your contact to feel the things, how you can respond. Oh, vibration, your handle, your grip, your stuff. How can you make? And try to not to think like, oh, everything has to be given to you. The material is going to be given to you, but now you have to train, and you have to find your way of training. Because when, for example, when Tuhon is teaching, Tuhon doesn't know what we have available. There's conditioning exercise with the iron ball and stuff like that. Nobody has. So in PTK we can slap ourselves, but okay, it's nice, but we can go harder. How can go harder? Yeah, buy an iron ball. Oh, you have an iron ball, you can work. But if you don't have, find something else. Make a bag, make beans in it, do with the beans, and find a way to increase. How you can better yourself. If you think of it, and if you are like a creative, you think of your opponent and how you can, and what you can do better, you will always find something. Like there's Adam in Florida.
Yes.
I've seen him. Yeah, look at Adam sometimes with this ball and the smile and stuff. What is it? You don't have a partner. You don't have a target. Build it. Do it.
That's right.
Do it. Find something. When I was in the Chinese school, just for, and I shared it with my guys on Zoom. I introduced them in the leg trapping things. And when they were doing it in the MTR, they were like, "Wow, how can we know if we are doing that?" And I said, next training, I said to the guy, go and take a chair. A chair? Yes, go and take a chair. What we are going to do? I go and take a chair. I asked them to take the chair, and I said, okay, you are used to do footwork. You are bored to be alone. Your opponent is the chair. Oh, you have a mark in the space. Go on the chair. Now you're gonna work your leg trap, and trap the foot of a chair. You have no one. Go. You will have the distance. You will have the feeling, the angle of the feet. It's a chair. It's nothing. There's no way to. It's not written in martial arts, but take a chair to train. But my master in the past was saying to me, Fabrice, if you want to improve, you have to find ways to improve. Look around you, what you have and what you can do. Express your creativity, and go to your. Don't deform the material what you are learning. That's all we are asking for. Don't create something that is like outside of the box.
Right.
But play the box with what you have and increase the thing.
Stick
So
to the principles and the
take
concepts.
the principle and the techniques, the biomechanics, and find ways to make better. If you do leg trap in the empty air, yeah, okay, it's nice. But if you have a chair, you have the positioning, you have to be precise in your footwork, and PTK is about precision and accuracy. Yeah, a chair can help you to be precise and accurate in that kind of things. You can kick on it, you can have a mark and distance on just a chair. It can be a lot of things. So think about it, and if you love it, and if you are passionate in it and enjoy it, you're gonna find ways. Like I love to look at what Adam is doing. He's doing crazy exercise with the plank on the walls and stuff like that. Yes, that's what I am on the same line. Because okay, we can do footwork and you have balance, yeah, but we can make better things because we have tools, we have more access to things. We don't have coconuts. I don't have coconuts, but I have tree trunk in my garden, and I cannot work on coconut, but I work on tree trunk because in Chinese we are doing it. So be patient if you are confined and you cannot, but keep to train because the period is about having a strong immune system.
That's right. That is great. That is great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is great advice out there. One, ask yourself how you can get better is what I heard you say. Don't just take the teachings that you already have and go beyond. And then 3, be creative.
Mm-hmm.
What's in your immediate area? That is martial arts. That's the history of every single martial art. It's being resourceful and creative. So thank you for that. That was beautiful, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm inspired.
So many things. There are so many things. You can.
Just a side note. I don't mean to cut you off. When we train capoeira, we use the chair a lot for capoeira.
Yeah.
Because it's very low. There's kicks. You're doing cartwheels around it, and then we would practice the foot sweep on the chair.
Rasteira.
La hashtera, exactly. The hashtera, my man, my brother. That's my brother, exactly.
Yeah.
So doing.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you a secret. Did I tell you that I was in capoeira for 4 years?
No.
I was trainer in capoeira. I was the French representative in the south of Nice in the department for Abada, for the group of Abada.
Abada, yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. And Pasoka, who was the technical director for Europe, was my teacher. And we were training with the chair a lot. He used to, but that's what they are. They don't have wooden dummy. That's all they can.
That's what I mean. So for us, when we use the chair for leg trappings all the time, because we're so used to using it for the hashteras and the habijahais and the melalus. So
even the jinga, if you do the jinga in front of the foot of the chair, you can have your rows of doing things. You can kick higher, doing your armada, your everything, your meral de compass on the chair. Oh, I eat the chair. Yeah, you have to raise your mealure. So go up.
You got it, brother.
And it's gonna be a tribute on your name. My favorite part of capoeira is capoeira Angola.
Listen, brother. That's why I train. My elders in Rastafari gave me the name Angola. Then people ask me, "Oh, you train capoeira Angola?" And I would say, "I didn't even know there was a capoeira Angola. I thought it was just capoeira." That's how I got into the art because so many people were asking me about that name. We love capoeira Angola, brother. We're gonna talk more, Fabrice. We're gonna talk more.
Look at if you were in capoeira. Look how Mestre Cobra Mansa is moving.
Oh, and he's older. He's getting.
How many PTK CCAD and SIPA and stuff there is in it and Panwot? How many?
Wow.
Same ways, huh? Same things of things. A lot of things.
Mestre Cobra Mansa, for the viewers, is a man in his late 60s.
Yeah.
Doing not only just flipping around his agility in gymnastics, but it's combative. I mean, he's doing kicks and sweeps and ducks.
Very vicious.
Yeah, very, very vicious. And that brings me to a comment that Hedda is making. She wants to thank you for not only training the Marit group, but it's also in the strength building and conditioning and in moving. When we train capoeira, the training on the body was so intense. You know, I love certain instructors. There are certain Tuhons that still promote heavy conditioning. We certainly do it in our group. Yeah, run with it. Go. You know where I'm going. How important do you think it is?
I bounce on it. Yeah,
Bounce.
I think it's something that can be lacking in martial art and system that are using too much of technique or weapon. Because sometimes people are relying too much on their weapon. Oh, I have a stick, I have a knife. Okay, don't need to make conditioning because if the guy comes, I will slash him. Yeah, but to always repeat, guys, never expect that the guys don't know how to fight. Don't never expect that the guy is not fit. You have to be sharp. And yeah, you are sharp. But the first weapon that we have is our body. That's why we have Pangamot. That's why we have Timangan. That's why we have Dumog. If there was no body skills needed and you don't have to be minimum of shape of it, there will be no Pangamot, no Timangan, no Dumog either. You say, oh, we are only weapon system. But if you have, we cannot rely on things. Look when Tuhon was always telling that also, and it's a non-story. The story when Tyson broke his fist many years ago when he was fighting in a bar with one guy who was in a concurrent category and stuff. Yeah, you can beat Tyson and you can break your arm. It's not only that Tyson can break the arm. The thing is that because the arm of the boxer is not conditioned to strike without the bands, without the glove. Yeah, it's good for boxing. Tyson is very good for boxing stuff, but he can knock you out, but break his hand too. So even the best, one of the best, well-known and famous and terrible boxer in history, I didn't condition his hand enough to strike bare hand. So how can we relate? Say, no, we don't need it. And yeah, we have empty hands. We have to be in shape because we fight. Yeah. But how can you know the duration of a fight in the street? Maybe you will have to fight for 1 minute, one for 5 minutes, and you will be catch up again by the guys.
That's right.
And you will be, then there will be 3 or 4, and you will have to move like crazy to get out of it, if you can get out of it. And maybe you will have to fight another thing. You don't know. And if you talk to it about war, what is the first thing that soldiers are doing? We say we are warrior, we are fighter. What are the first thing of a soldier? Shooting? No. Walking? Running?
That's right.
Diving? Rolling on the ground?
That's right.
Conditioning is conditioning. Making abs, jumping jacks, pull-ups, push-ups. How can you say you are a warrior and you say, oh, I don't need? Yeah, it's for retired warrior, but you don't do any conditioning. But when you see Grand Tuhon moving at 80 plus, and you see how can this guy can move like that and have that condition and be still quick and sharp and stuff if they didn't ever train their body? Never. Look at I remember one of my, I love the old types of PTK and all martial arts in general and all fighting system. But what was the training? Crawling on the ground, jumping, doing the ropes, crawling in the mud. Yeah, crawling in the mud is very tiring. It's physical.
That's right.
How can you be not shape when you are doing fighting system? It's like you say to a soldier, oh, you want to fight? You want to fight? You want to go against the other army? Yeah, just go to the bar and drink beer. It will make the deal. Never. You cannot do that.
So you push your students to train. You do a lot of conditioning.
Yeah. I push them. I said, even when we don't have time in the session to make some physical, do it on your own.
Yeah.
Do it. Because the physical, the technical is one thing, the physical and the stamina is part of the thing. And when you train for 10 hours in mastery camp or you train for 6 hours, like Aaron did to us in Croatia, making a squat for 20 minutes without stopping. The next day, the guys that were not shape, they could not walk, they cannot move anymore. Yes, not even for fighting, but even for training, you don't have the legs, you don't have the arms, you don't have the thing. So even if you are not like an athlete, okay, you don't have time, okay, but dedicate a bit of your thing on physical too.
Yes, sir.
I think
Right.
more balance.
Right. And you
And
you
even
know,
when we talk about physical conditioning, there's not only force and strength, there's also balance, coordination,
That's right.
explosiveness,
Yeah.
endurance, resistance. There
Yeah.
are so many things that you have to work and can make your abilities, even in PTK, evolve. It's the one who is swinging the stick is the body. The one who is swinging the knife is the body. The sharper people, they want to sharpen their knife, they want to put bullet in their guns, but they don't want to sharpen their body. But who is holding the weapon? The body. The more you sharpen the weapon, the quicker you're gonna go. I think it's a war.
Yes, sir.
And you were talking earlier about how you were saying, you know, the watered down, how, you know, the soup was a little bit was not as watered down, and kind of, you know, translating that to like the original Tuhons, and how, you know, they had the good soup in there. I mean, they had the less watered down soup. So of course their Kali is so amazing. And, you know, something that we've heard, and if you see our past episodes, you'll hear those Tuhons who we had the honor of talking to say is that, you know, that not only did they have to do like physical calisthenics, but the Kali was the calisthenics. That's why there's like the term calisthenics, because the way that they had to repeat, you know, applications and the basic mechanics was the conditioning. Because yeah, you might learn something, you know, really intense and strong and powerful, and, you know, from Grand Tuhon, but it wasn't you weren't going to do it just one time. It was the repetition over and over again, putting the mechanics in your body. And so, you know, doing the mechanics, whether it's advanced or basic mechanics, over and over again is also another way to build your body up. Because, you know, we have a phrase, and that is, Kali is great if you can do it.
You can do it.
And, you know, can you do it if your body is not, if your body's not conditioned, and if you haven't worked the mechanics over and over again?
Yeah.
You know, so being physically fit, I think, is important. And then also being physically fit and using the mechanics building to become physically fit.
Yeah, sure,
It's
sure.
really important, because, you know, there's only one way to do the system, and that's to be the system. You have to be, you know, the training. So I think that it's so important to really include that, incorporate that in your class. So what do you think the future of PTK will be?
Who knows? Well, like I said, what
That's a
we
hard
know,
transition. That's a hard transition, Jenna. That's a hard transition. You know, we like to talk about PTK unity on the show, Fabrice. We like to talk about collaboration. And so
okay, it's an oriented question now. It's not vast enough. So the more we can narrow the channel, the more we can talk about it.
Yes.
I don't know what it will be, because it will depend on the behavior and the spirit and mindset of other people. So I can talk about myself, but I cannot know what people will decide for themselves for orientation in life.
Yes.
And regarding PTK or outside PTK, because sometimes outside PTK has influence in PTK too. And I have a dual things again on the sometimes when I don't know, I look at the things. Oh, okay, there's always a yin and a yang. I said, if we are like in the 60s with the power flower, you remember the move? I will say, okay, what I can hope is that PTK will be less about story, about politics, and more united. And but it's also regarding about the story of the soup. Yes, what do we want of PTK? Do we want a PTK diluted? Because not everybody has everything, not everybody has origin. Do we want to be close to the source? And I don't push anyone. I don't want to incense everyone or put someone on the throne. But yeah, if we can have in front the two horns that have been the most exposed to the system, really, because in every martial arts, and it's part of martial arts, there's different kinds of rank, and there's different kind of difference of levels in ranks. It's always existed. So if there's nothing to say on that, it's a kind of thing. It's like study. You go to school, some people, they are bachelor degree, but they are bachelor degree with 18 on the general notes, and some people are bachelor degree with only 10.
Mhm.
So, okay, everybody's bachelor, but you want to study with 18 or 10 if you want to go higher. So let's make the people, I would say, like, let people have integrity for the future and recognize what they know and what they don't know. Not pretend for marketing, not pretend for commercializing, for making names or famous or money and stuff. And if they really love PTK, the people who have to be in front will be in front. If they don't like PTK for the sake of PTK and the survival of the system and the next generations of the system, they will fight for their own image, and they will like maybe start other things and deteriorate it. But on the other way I look at it is that we were talking about Apple later on the phones. Sometimes competitions bring the best.
Mhm.
So what brings us the phones that we are? If we stayed at the era of Nokia and Ericsson, we still maybe have shitty phones.
Mhm.
We maybe not have tabs for us to make people talking Kali either. But what makes the things? Competition. Sometimes groups that are competing each other are pushing people to bring the best of themselves to stay at the level of the competition. And it's kind of natural thing. What has to be rid of will be rid of. It's natural. It's like the tree. The things that cannot survive and cannot adapt, and we will see. But sometimes it's not the best thing that are surviving, but if nature gives the chance to that thing, maybe that was the thing that nature has chosen for the situation for the future. So we cannot know. So one way I will say, okay, I will be in a very idealistic way, hope for a united PTK, not story, not politics, not bad mouthing, not trashing each other, not things that are going on the commonplace. But at the same time, maybe competition is going to bring the best of PTK for the future. We were talking last time offline about Wing Chun. Look, Wing Chun, the grandmaster was there, and when the man died, what happened? Every student came and say, "Oh, I was the one who was the secret. I was the one who was the private door and stuff." And you can think, "Oh, these guys, they never join. They can never unite." But at the same time, they spread. Everybody has his own brand, his own ways of expressing Wing Chun, and all together they are making like Wing Chun being like a virus on the planet with Donnie Yen and his movies and stuff, and everybody's knowing Wing Chun. So maybe spreading of people will bring PTK in front of line or in something one day, and people will run to PTK like they're running for Wing Chun because they have seen the movie, and bring good people in the art. So who knows?
Love it.
Maybe unity, maybe competition, but what the nature will choose for the future will come.
Wow. That's profound.
Always opinion.
Beautiful opinion. And there's a truth in that. You know, sometimes you can't see the good that's happening in the midst of conflict. But there's a good that, going back to the yin and yang, there is a good in the midst of the bad. You know, and maybe some of that good is that everybody is getting their skills sharp, and you know, we're cutting off dead weight. And then when that time does come, you know, we'll be more sincere about it. That's profound, brother.
Just a hope of it, but not. But if I have to see to have in front of me the ideal picture that I would like, I will say, oh, maybe it could be good that everything is united and the system is strong and spread and liked by people, because it's a wonderful system. I have tried over FMA. I love everything. I love Palintawak. I love to see Grandmaster Bobby Taboada moving. When you see all videos of Ongxion Bacon, the guys have real skill, their own ways. But I love martial arts. And I was saying to Frank, my little brother, we should need 1,000 years. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years for each art, and two life for that. 1 life for 2 life for PTK, 1 life for American Kenpo, 2 life for BJJ, one life for Sambo, one life for Capoeira, and enjoy the thing, because every martial arts is very beautiful. Every fighting system are very good. I love boxing. Boxing people. When I see a boxing match, I feel the guys are working hard. It's very, very difficult. When I had one of my students was a wrestler, the national level, of at a competition and contest everywhere on Earth, like international wrestler. When I see him wrestling, I am like, wow, I would like to learn wrestling too. When I see one doing the more, I said, oh, I hope that one day I will have enough skill to express that too. But after, when I see a Wing Chun guy, oh, I'm happy to see Wing Chun guy too. When I see some master giving seminars and the things, they are loving their stuff and very appreciating, and people are loving it. There are many ways to, like Gorodan says, there are many ways to climb, every path to climb the mountains, and every path is beautiful. Every point of view in the mountain is beautiful. Right?
Very humble, brother. And I, as a warrior who loves, I mean, I'm focused on PTK, but I love to see the warrior culture in all of its form. I relate. Me and Fabrice, we could talk over coffee for hours, my friend.
I have a short espresso for me.
Okay, that's it. We're on the same page. I take a double. Okay. I want to just salute Marcilio Silva, who tuned in from Brazil. And him and the Nomad, you know, our brother Royce were talking about capoeira in that conversation. And yeah, there was some good conversation just about what we were talking about, strength and conditioning as well. And Royce, his final comment was, people want to sharpen the weapon, but they don't understand that their body is the weapon, just agreeing with what you were saying.
Yeah.
Fabrice, we like to ask the guests, our final question is related to the ED.
I know what it is. I know what is the question.
Everyone knows now. You know where it's going, sir.
Yeah. So you're going to ask me what is my EDC?
What's your everyday carry, my brother? Yes, if you could share it.
So I'm going to answer. There's one answer, there's two approaches. In France, it's very difficult to carry a weapon. We are not in US. If you want to have a gun, you need to be registered in a shooting range. You need to have a license. You have to declare to the government that you have a weapon. You need to have your weapon in a vault at home and with the bullets separated from the gun. You cannot have the weapon charged in the vault ever. If you have a control and the government come at your home with the weapon and the bullet in the same place, you are in trouble. Wow. You can be removed your weapon and license and stuff. Carrying a knife, you can have a folder knife. Like when you open the knife, the blade is secure and fixed. So you can have only like Swiss knife, Opinel. You know, it's good for cutting the butter and put jelly on your bread. You cannot do anything because you're gonna cut yourself. So after there's the kind of, so weapons are forbidden there, and even expressing that you carry a weapon can be a trace of you somewhere. If you have trouble, maybe the lawyer you will be fighting against will track your things and say, oh, this guy says that he has a knife, and the guy, my client, my customer has been stabbed with a knife. Maybe it was not his knife, it was the knife guy, because the guy says he carries his knife in that show, so maybe it's not. So there's not that one. So I don't carry knife, and I will say that the weapon I carry with me every day is my brain. Because even if you use the weapon, the brain is the weapon.
That's right.
Even if you have a knife, your knife is not is the tool. The brain is the weapon. So I bring my brain.
That is fire. That's fire right there. Yeah, your mind is.
It's not pretension. It's not that, oh, the guy is bragging. He said you don't need a weapon. You need his brain. No, it's not that. It's not that. Even if I had a weapon, it's not the weapon. The weapon is there because it's the one who has been taught. Can you bring a knife? Well, n'importe quel. I take this knife, Russ. Does he know something? He knows nothing about killing someone or cutting a blade or cutting the arms or cutting the wrist to disarm the guy or stripping. He knows nothing. He's the weapon. He's the one who's going to use that. So if you have that, you can. I think it's the brain.
Wow.
For me,
brother.
But I understand people who have knife, who can carry things. And one thing that I like to have, I'm gonna say it. Can I have the chopstick? The chopstick. What I used to carry for a long time is that chopstick.
The chopsticks.
Yeah,
that's good.
My master used to tell me, Fabrice, chopstick has never been recognized as a weapon in the world. You can.
And if you're hungry, you could eat with food. You got food right there. There's a fork for you.
It can feed you. It can save you.
That's right.
Because it's very, very, even if it's only metal, it can go deep. I made some tests on carton box, and it can go deeper like earth, and it can go deep in the chest, it can go deep in the face, in soft tissue and stuff. Even if it goes in a hard surface, it's going to penetrate on the side, it's going to slide. Yeah. And my master told me a story, and it was confirmed by his brother in the martial arts school, about him fighting 3 guys with only a pair of chopstick, and maimed the guys in Vietnam at the time. Maimed the guys. It's a dulo. It's a dulo. It's a thin one, but it's a dulo. Yeah. It's a sac, it's a pakal, it's everything. Yeah. So yeah, beautiful. It can be nice. But like I said, we don't have the right to wear weapons. So even if I have one, I will not say. But the brain.
Right. You're getting a lot of positive responses from the viewers on that. Ali Johnson from Chicago, a viewer. I didn't know you were on the show, brother Ali. He also was saying it all comes down to the mentality. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful answer. We want to thank you, Fabrice, for taking the time. I know it's 2 a.m. It's almost 4 a.m. right now.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
But I see your passion in Pikiti Tirji Kali, and you're somebody he's moving up in the ranks, folks. And being new, somewhat new, you've been here for a few years already. Your perspective is very, very important. So it's important that we not only got to know you, but got to see what your perspective is on PTK and how it can evolve. But even though you're new to PTK, you are a lifelong martial artist. That is evident. You're somebody that we hope to get to know more as time goes on.
And at the end, the only thing that we will have is nothing to get out of here. And the only thing that we will left is the what we gave to the people, the impression that we gave to the people, and the effect that we had on their life, the best goal. Yeah.
It's like I believe in the ripple effect, Fabrice. You know, like a ripple in the pond. We do a gesture of kindness, we have no idea the ripple on another person. Just like a gesture of violence, you know, it can have a ripple effect. And so moments like this, these conversations, they have a ripple effect on our community for the positive.
Yeah, maybe some people can take something of it, some people not. Maybe they have over experience, over sensibility. That's okay. Everybody has his own feeling, own view, appreciation on thing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Can I make a thank you for before that?
Yes.
I would like to thank all my students for following me for many years. Because they are also the one who can allow that things happen, because maybe Tuhon will not be interested in teaching if there was no group and stuff, if I was only egoistic for myself. So they are part of the game, they are part of my growth. Thanks Tuhon for all his generosity in teaching, Tuhon Rommel, Tuhon Leslie, Mandala Rich for his patience, because sometimes I can be very not maybe stubborn for him, but I have my own views on things, and I have no bad feelings about people. But I make also my point of view respected when I think it's important for me. So I respect everything, every ways of people, even sometimes I do not agree. Thanks Guru Aaron for his friendship and support also. Very nice guys. You guys for inviting me for the show, because it's a kind of sharing, and even for dedication for my group. It's our trainer, our group leader is guess it's cool for us and can be good for their feelings too, kind of gratification if they are happy with it. Good. If they are not, no care. And to Eda's group for asking me and trusting me enough to make a try, because even if it's a try and even if we don't know the result, they spend time, and time of life is precious for everyone. So when some people are asking you to help them and trust you enough to invite you, okay, thank you too for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to share things that I know. And if the things are good for the group over there in Marit and I can help them, I will help them as long as I can. And thanks for Jade also, because like I said, I talk sometimes with Jade since she came in groups and stuff, and she has a very, very positive views on the future, and very she told me that what was the meaning of her presence, and there is a way to see the things, and it's a good way too. Maybe she wants to work for unification and for less struggling and less separatism in the things. It can be like the ideal thing that we were talking about. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. Future will talk. And other guys who Royce came there to listen, and the guys who came here to listen, nobody, because no ranks, no things, no stuff. A French guy, like someone said once in Facebook, oh, we cannot trust French people. Yeah, but they were part of the building of the US, and a lot of US is part of French too. So don't spit on your roots also. And the patience of people who were there also for listening, because my English is not very perfect. So they can endure the Franglish maybe sometimes. So thank you very much for your patience and understanding. And it was a great time. Always a nice talk to you.
It's very beautiful that you're giving thanks like this. For Jenna and I, gratitude is a very powerful, very powerful human condition we don't tap into. So I'm honored that you even took the time to give thanks.
Yeah, we have to respect the source. Whatever it is, we have to respect the source.
Yeah, from the teachers to the students. That's the best thing that you said. We also must respect the students. You know,
because we even us we don't know what can happen to life, and everyone in life can have good and bad. Nobody is perfect, and if you judge people too hard, be careful, you will be judged the same way. So,
that's right.
And respecting the source. If he was not there, if he didn't, like I said to Tuhon Rommel, if he and Tuhon was the one who said, Fabrice, if you want to attend, because I have heard that there will be maybe in 2021 a seminar with GT in Italy, and I asked Tuhon Rommel, I said, Tuhon, if my guys and I want to go to the GT seminar, I said, okay. He said, yes, Fabrice, go to see my uncle. He is my teacher. Because I am there. He's the one who feed me and taught me the art. You go there, you practice with him, and you give respect for him in name of the group and in our name, and you respect him. It's very, you can go, no problem, Fabrice, never a problem. And yeah. Even if our story, people are respecting each other. Respect the source, because without the source, we are not there.
That's right.
Without the first level of teacher, we are not there. So always respect and trust them. If you don't trust them, if you don't want to move, sometimes also people, I've met some people say, I don't want to move like Tuhon like that. I don't want to move like that. Well, yeah, but if you don't want to move like Tuhon, don't come in PTK, because they are the one who is expressing PTK. You don't know nothing about PTK. How can you say you don't want to move like that? It's this that you don't want PTK. So what are you doing there? So, for example, what I say to my guys, I try to move like Tuhon Rommel and a bit of Tuhon Leslie for what I saw, because they are the best source that I had. So I am not perfect. I am not good, but I am the best source that you can have on a weekly basis, every day, to train. So take it, and when Tuhon will come, he will correct you, because he's the source, he's my source, and there's GT on source. Maybe one day we have GT in seminar, we can see him in Italy, and he will say, you guys, you do like that, and you have to do like that also, and you can do that. And we will have to say, yeah, thank you, GT, for for giving your knowledge to us, the things that you had pain to learn. Because for what we saw, GT learned with a lot of pain too. So okay, respect. Without the guy, well, nobody's there.
My friend, the last thanks belongs to us. Thank you for taking your time. It has been a great conversation. Thank you, the viewer, as well, for tuning into the show and making this a great experience. Fabrice, we're going to salute out. Please hold on, my friend. And tune in next week, folks, where we talk with Agalon Jade and pretty much continue this conversation that's been going on for the past few weeks. On that note, loyalty, wisdom, respect.
Life, health, and success.
One love.